he is just focused on his goals. And like he watched Netflix that show The Quarterback,
Yeah.
the series that they did. Saw what like Kirk Cousins and some of the guys had in terms of like film in their house. So he went out and bought that. And now like there's no difference if he's at the facility or at home. He has an NFL quarterback set up. Like watching
Really?
what guys who are, a decade in the league, hey, what makes them successful?
This first little story, shout out to Zach Alberverdi, posted this little post from the forums on the On3 message boards. Thought this was great. Wanted to share this. I've obviously been a big component of Billy. Loved Billy. Outside of him making me upset during that Texas A&M run, but that's besides the point. I doubled down last year at the end of the Senior Bowl game of just like who he is as a person. Like nobody. I mean, we all want success. I think that's where a lot of Gator fans are like, dude, just win some football games. I can't think of a time where Florida fans have loved their coach as much as they really appreciate Billy. Obviously, there's been a ton of coaches, but he has really won over, I would say, the fan base in a unique way, not just by winning, which we want that more than anything, Billy. But we appreciate this. But the story here, it says this past Sunday, I was at brunch with my girlfriend, and neighbor happened to be at a table next to us with his family. In the back room of the restaurant was a baby shower, not Nick's, he only has one, party of about 15 people, and none of them noticed him walk in. He still picked up the check for everyone in the party and left before they even realized it. He just seems to be such an amazing person. So shout out to the person who, one, noticed it and gave credit to him, because typically, I'm sure, who knows how often he does this, and it doesn't get recognized or noticed or even is about. Nick, I know you're obviously very close to the program. Does this match up to Nate being a good dude?
Yeah. That's I've ragged on it before, but he truly believes that statement that good men make good football players, great men make great football players. After getting to know Lagway a little bit, I told Billy, I was like, hey, I don't know if I believe your statement. I graduated high school in 2007. There were a bunch of not great men on those football teams, and they were pretty good football players. But like DJ Lagway is your poster boy for that. Like people were asking me before SC Media Days, they're like, hey, what's some like stuff about Lagway? I'm like, honestly, he's boring. Like he has a girlfriend, he has a dog, he goes to church, and he likes football. Like that's what he does. That's who he is. But no, it doesn't surprise me about Billy. His dad passed away from ALS. He just just wrote a check for ALS research. That's just the kind of person he is. What you see is what you get. Doesn't surprise me at all that he would do something like that.
It's a couple things. One, just thrashing our quarterback. Hey, chill. He's not boring.
No.
He's focused.
Yeah.
All right. He's easy.
He's locked in.
Let's use different words there to describe what we got going.
I was gonna say,
I'd rather him be boring than be like the guys at Georgia you were just talking about. Yeah. Much rather.
Tim Tebow was boring too. So
super boring.
Yeah. Hey, look, the last boring one that liked church and all that won us a couple national championships. I mean, just saying.
That like church. This isn't Chuck E. Cheese. Unbelievable. All right, boring. Check. I like that. And so you called Billy out. You go, hey, I'm not. I'll buy your statement of great men make great football players. You kind of called him on his line there.
Yeah. I said I told him you walk by a couple trophies that Aaron Hernandez was on the team.
What did he say?
He laughed. He's got a good sense of humor.
All right, cool. That's fine. I mean, I figured if you had the kahunas to say it, he was good about it. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, like as long as they're boring off the field and then they're exciting on the field, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Dominic Easley wasn't boring. Like we did an interview with Dominic Easley back then. We did him in the visiting locker room, and he came with like a Sam's Club size barrel of animal crackers, and he's just like answering questions while shoveling animal crackers, and like not a boring guy. Like you can be boring. I'm not saying boring is bad, but like he's not like a character like that. Like DJ's just like a normal dude.
I love how I love how you try to counter like how it's cool not to be boring, but walking in. I've said this before though. I've you been on the show. It's like, look, I don't think Billy would recruit my personality. I'm not boring, but there's a reason why, because you're trying to focus. I think there's a place for it though. I think you have to be. Look, I think it's actually a huge compliment to DJ. Like genuine. I know what you're trying to say. We're poking fun at it, but we gotta be careful. You know, the internet can be. They'll think we're being serious, making fun of being boring. But I saw during media day he was even asked about his girlfriend and if he could hit a pitch off her. He goes, no, absolutely not. Which was
no shot.
Yeah, no shot. But he was very humbled, very down to earth, which was cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool to see, kind of like you said, that him trying to just live that life and believe that life. And it's gonna be cool, right? Like, it's boring now. And I think about Scotty Scheffler. Scotty Scheffler is boring. And he embodies of just being a good, great dude and just winning, right? And I think there's a cultural shift. I was talking with my buddy the other day. It's like, when we grew up, like my generation, like think about the guys we grew up with. Tiger Woods, some off the field issues, okay? Not necessarily the greatest role model, all right? Michael Jordan, some off the field issues, okay? Not the greatest role model in some areas. Tom Brady's another one that had a couple of, hiccups here. And in a way, it's like they showed you, like, hey, you've got to sacrifice a family life to be the greatest. And it's cool. We're seeing a shift. And it's cool to see that. And again, like you said, Napier is kind of buying into that of like, no, you can be this and be this. You got to trust me.
Yeah, but so I didn't mean it I meant it as a compliment. Like he is just focused on his goals. And like he watched Netflix, that show, The Quarterback.
Yeah.
The series that they did. Saw what like Kirk Cousins and some of the guys had in terms of like film in their house. So he went out and bought that. And now like there's no difference if he's at the facility or at home. He has an NFL quarterback set up. Like watching what guys who are, a decade in the league, hey, what makes them successful? Oh, he has I forget which quarterback. One of them has the same setup in like the car that takes him to the facility so he can watch film like on the way to the car. I don't think DJ's done that, but like has an entire film setup at the house. Like, I mean boring in the sense of like, you're not going to get a crazy DJ Lagway story. Like he donated money out of his own pocket on International Women's Day back to Florida Victorious to give more money to women's sports. He's just a genuine down to earth guy. You're not going to get, a crazy DJ Lagway bar fight story. Like he just likes football. He goes to church.
Yeah, that sucks. No, I love it. I look, it was just the way you said it was awesome, but that is an awesome clip there that he watched the Netflix documentary and said, here's what I want to take from it. And look, when you think about those three quarterbacks, like Netflix probably struggled. Those boys are boring. Joey doesn't do a dang. Every time they're recording him, Buddy's just sitting there, just talking about a Batmobile, eating a pre-made sandwich, or they're forcing him to hang out with family members. Like, can we please get you hanging out with somebody so we think you're human? It's like, no, I want to go home.
they're boring and rich.
God, who wants to be human?
You and I had a little too much fun, which is why we weren't recruited.
They need to hang out.
Boring.
They need to hang out with me for a night, man.
No, they was the farthest thing from it. Look, Kawhi Leonard made an entire market campaign off of it. So boring.
Yeah,
guy. He made it cool. He made it cool to be a boring guy. There's nothing wrong with it.